Welcome to Saunders Sisterhood. I'm Carrie, and today we are talking about celebrating 15 things other than marriage or kids. A lot of the milestones that our culture and our society celebrates have to do with moving into different seasons of life. And the two really big ones are marriage and becoming a parent. And so this video is going to be 15 things that have nothing to do with that you should start celebrating. And even if these 15 things, if not all of them apply to you, my hope is they will light a match for you to think about other less traditional things for you to celebrate in your life, because you deserve it. Your life is meaningful, purposeful, and has things to celebrate, even if it's not marriage and it's not parenthood. All right, so let's just get number one out of the way. If you watch this channel at all, you know that I am deep in hanging out with my dog. Love my dog. He brings me so much joy. And so celebrate your dog or your cat or your pet milestones. Celebrate their gotcha day. Celebrate their birthday. Celebrate when you train them through something and they're now able to sit and stay. P.S. If you are able to get your dog to do that, please let me know. I can get mine to sit, but stay is a whole other can of worms. So think about those things that you want to celebrate with your dog or cat or other pet that you have. Don't be embarrassed by it. Don't be ashamed by it. Don't let anybody tell you that it's silly. Lean into it, own it, and know that you have a whole community and tribe of people that are doing the same thing and cheering you on for it. All right, the second thing to celebrate is if you achieve a health or wellness milestone, make sure you acknowledge that. Make sure you celebrate it. Give yourself credit for that. That takes a lot of work, discipline, and determination and effort. Maybe that's you were able to reduce your Starbucks intake from 7 days a week to 5 days a week. I'm not there yet. Pigs will be flying when that happens, I think, for me. But maybe it's you gained a certain amount of muscle. Maybe it's you adjusted your body fat percentage in a certain way. Maybe you're exercising more. I don't know what that is for you, but whatever it is, celebrate it. The third one is if you have achieved a goal related to a hobby. Maybe you have read 12 books in the year. You achieved 1 book a month. Maybe you learned something like how to knit or play pickleball. Maybe you finally learned a new skill related to one of your hobbies. Celebrate these things. This is what life is about. Learning, growing, and continuing to move forward and expand your knowledge and trying new things. This is something to be celebrated. This takes effort to do and achieve. Along that vein, if you try something new that feels like it's a little anxiety producing, maybe you finally go to a meetup. Maybe you try out a support group that you've been contemplating going to, but have been feeling kind of anxious about being in a group with a bunch of strangers. I'll tell you, as a therapist, I generally I can struggle to get people to agree to go to groups, but once they're in them, especially groups related to like identity, meaning like everybody in this group is going through grief, or everybody in this group is childless, not by choice, things like that, versus maybe like a diagnosis. Once you get them in, it's hard to get them to come out of it because they find it so valuable. So just putting that tidbit out there. And maybe you join a community like this and you're like, wow, I'm really proud of myself that I've taken the risk and identified this way, and I'm looking to grow and learn and find other people who maybe can relate to this part of me. What is not to celebrate about that? Celebrate reaching that financial goal. Maybe you've saved a certain amount of money in an emergency fund. Maybe you're saving a certain percentage away in your retirement funds. Maybe you just got out of debt. Maybe you paid off your student loans, whatever it is. Or maybe you've just drastically cut your spending. Celebrate the financial stuff. It's okay to celebrate the responsibility stuff too. Reaching a work goal or receiving a promotion from work. It's okay to do that. I used to sometimes hesitate around that because I thought, well, I'm single, I don't have kids. People like assume that it's easier for me, that I have the time to like put into it. And I think there is elements of truth in that. I think I used work in order to escape. It's where I found my self-worth because these other things weren't happening. So I'm not saying it wasn't a toxic loop in some ways, but I put in the work and I achieved these goals. And it's okay to celebrate those and not feel like just because your circumstances are different that it means that you shouldn't be able to celebrate them. And piggybacking off of that, it's also okay to celebrate climbing down the corporate ladder. Maybe you take a job that is like a demotion. That's okay too, if that's what you want to do. That's gutsy, really gutsy. I think it's getting more normalized. My dog is next to me and he sees Gabby. Like he's not like scary growling. He's just trying to let something. We'll be moving locations. We have not celebrated being able to manage other dogs anywhere outside the dog park or the beach or a fun place. This is my life, Gavin. All right, so the next thing to celebrate is kind of all clustered together, but when you're making adjustments to your life in order to cultivate a work-life balance, celebrate that. It's hard to do when there's things about your life that you want to escape from. Let me listen to that again. This should be celebrated because it's very hard to make these adjustments in your life when the imbalance has been serving an escapism need or an avoidance need. When you are going to dip your toe in and start to recalibrate, celebrate that. All right, number 9. We're already to number 9. Celebrate making those travel plans that you've always wanted to make and you've been putting off. Whatever the reason you've been putting it off for, maybe it has to do with the previous 3 celebrations, but celebrate the fact that you took action. Taking action can beget more action. It starts the snowball. All right, and birthdays. Celebrate your birthday. Here's why I included this one. There was a period in my life when I was really in the thick of the grief where I saw birthdays as just one step closer to this imaginary deadline of, oh my God, if I'm not married and don't have kids by this date, it's never going to happen. Then my life is going to be pointless. Yeah, I mean, you all can fill in the blanks, I'm sure, of that sort of tsunami of thoughts that come. And so birthdays were more of a really anxiety producing thing versus this thing to celebrate. I want you to consider reclaiming your birthday if you can relate to that. Number 11, buying a home. Buying a home isn't the end all be all. You don't have to buy a home in order to be successful or an adult or any of those things. For some people, buying a home does not make financial sense. And if it so happens to be something that is a part of your life, celebrate it. Particularly if you're single. That's no easy feat. Number 12. I was so pumped in the way that I said that too. Number 12. Celebrate purchasing that thing that you've been saving up to purchase that you've always wanted. That thing where you delayed immediate gratification in order to save up, find the best deal, or maybe you did want to find the best deal. You just, once you had the money, you wanted to get it. But that thing that you were wondering, should I get it? Should I not? Do I deserve this? Do I not? Celebrate the work you put into that and that you finally did that. All right. Number 13, celebrate moving closer to acceptance about who you are and where you are in life while embracing the opportunities that you have ahead of you. You have opportunities ahead of you, even if you are single or childless, not by choice. If you wanted kids and you're not going to have them, you still have opportunities ahead of you to really celebrate life and engage in your life in a meaningful and fulfilling and purposeful way. It's just gonna look differently than the way that you've always imagined or the way that's always been projected onto you. But as you start to wrap your brain a little bit around that concept, celebrate that because it is a hard concept to start to internalize, because it's really not what we're encouraged to do. We're encouraged to follow kind of this conveyor belt of things in order to progress other people's agenda, maybe. I don't know. I'm still working through that concept a little bit. All right, 14. I want you to celebrate setting boundaries with friends and family and surrounding yourself with the people who shine your light brighter versus dim your light. Now, you may be one of the only people celebrating this one, because it may negatively impact some other people around you, or you might be having some tough conversations with people around you. But dang, if you shouldn't be celebrating it. Setting boundaries is hard work. All right, and the 15th thing that I want you to celebrate is the fact that you get up every day and you work really hard, especially on those days where it takes everything you have just to stay glued together. Celebrate the hard days and getting through them. It's hard to maintain hope, and yet you're doing it. And it's okay if that hope vacillates occasionally. You're going to have days where you feel more hope than others. Maybe you'll have days where I'm the person who's going to be holding the hope for you. But the fact that you're getting up, you're engaging, even if it's just lying in bed, Google searching or searching on YouTube, single and childless, not by choice, and this video pops up and you click on it, you're still engaging and trying to help yourself and move forward. And I want you to celebrate that and acknowledge that. You're experiencing a grief that is very possibly going unrecognized to the people around you. I mean, hell, it may have even gone unrecognized to you for a period of time. I know it did me. So celebrate those really tough moments that you're getting through. Not celebrate the moments per se, but celebrate getting through them. Particularly when going through this type of grief feels really lonely at times. And know that this community is behind you, because you're getting through something that takes a ton of grit, a ton of resilience, a ton of perseverance, because society has no roadmap for how to get through a grief like this, a more non-traditional grief. It's a non-event. And so you're getting up every day doing the very best you can. And I'm proud of you. And this community is proud of you. So tell me the things that you celebrate that I might have missed in the comments below. And if you've done something that you want to celebrate, let us know, because we would love to give you some encouragement and support on your more non-traditional celebrations. Why are they non-traditional, by the way? These are the things we should be celebrating. Anyway, I've got to work today. I've got my Starbucks. I remembered my mom's Starbucks. I forgot it yesterday. So subscribe to Saunders Sisterhood for more videos for the single and childless, not by choice video. No, person. So subscribe to Saunders Sisterhood for more videos for the single and childless, not by choice person. We're on a roll in this community, so join us.